All right, so that was quite an introduction of you, Vibhu. Before we even jump in, so John talked a little bit about your life before crypto. Maybe what did you do before crypto, in case anyone here don't know yet?
Yeah, I used to build retail stores in the real world.
Okay.
And
in the real world?
Yeah, and just before Drip, I founded Solana Spaces, which was kind of the incubator for what we're doing now.
Yeah. So actually, the reason that me and Vibhu knew each other is because Orca was a launch partner for Solana Spaces. And we were just having drinks on Saturday, and we talked about, so you guys are in an intimate conversation, just with an audience, with me and Vibhu. And we talked about the fact that last year, you were opening for Breakpoint, and it was about Solana Spaces. But this year, you're opening a conference tomorrow, and it's about something completely different. So what happened in the last 12 months?
what didn't happen in the last 12 months? Yeah, I mean, Solana Spaces was a really good idea, but I would kind of say it was kind of a bull market idea. You know, let's go build these like palaces to ourselves around the world. That was and onboard people into crypto. And I think as the market conditions kind of changed, people's sentiments on crypto changed. Obviously, they who shall not be named were like a key, financial partner of ours as well. And yeah, basically in February we made the decision to wind down the stores and focus on Drip, which was at the time a side project that we created to kind of help people onboard into Solana.
And when you decided to wind down Solana Spaces, what made you decide to keep going on Solana itself?
Yeah. Honestly, we really felt pulled into it. Like, we had made this promise to people that we were going to deliver them art every single week, every single Wednesday.
Yeah.
And I felt like that promise was important. And by the time we were considering the decision, Drip had already grown to maybe 100,000 or so wallets. So we felt like, there's something here, and we need to explore and kind of dig in a bit more. We knew compression was coming to mainnet, and that there was a lot of possibilities.
And how many wallets does Drip have right now?
I just tweeted a little bit ago. I think we just crossed 800,000.
800,000, wow, so 8x'd.
Yeah.
That's a great investment if there ever was one. So 800,000 users, what made them come to Drip? Because there's a lot of different protocols that are onboarding users in different ways. So what do you think attracted them to your product?
Yeah, well, if you're not familiar with Drip, we basically partner with creators. Those can be artists, they can be prank video YouTubers, they can be musicians, and we help them build a fan base. They do that on-chain, and we help them drop content, media, art to that audience on-chain as well. And I think Drip is a really dramatically different value prop from almost everything else in crypto because it starts at free. You don't need tokens, you don't need a KYC. You sign up with a Phantom wallet or a Backpack wallet, and you start collecting. And I think we just dramatically lower the barrier to entry to crypto experiences. We kind of changed the value prop a lot from maybe trading to collecting and just enjoying content the same way you would anywhere else. And that and this promise that we made to keep delivering people art, I think we've done a good job of fulfilling that over and over and over again at quite a big scale now. Yeah. People hang around. Like, we have this incredibly rabid fan base of folks who show up every day to just to enjoy what we're doing.
And you guys just had an announcement for a partnership with Phantom, right? I think I got dropped a little NFT through that announcement. It's like a band or something like that?
We did a Phantom Ghost that's rendered it with water. It was made by Abby Solana. And, Phantom and Drip have pretty similar goals, I would say, especially right now. We went through a period of intense onboarding and then intense offboarding. Maybe now it's coming back just in the last couple weeks. But what we noticed when we were working with Phantom in the stores, and certainly over the last year, is that most people that come to the chain, they have no idea what to do next.
Yeah.
They download the wallet because someone told them to. They don't fund it. They don't do on-chain transactions. They just kind of sit on it. So Phantom and Drip started working together on ways to start introducing people to some of the easiest things you can do And of course, I think Phantom's plans are to introduce people progressively to maybe more complex experiences like the things that you guys work on. Yeah, I mean, Drip is, like I mentioned, the most accessible entry point into crypto. So I think it made a lot of sense for both them and us to figure out a way to like have that magic moment that people have with Drip happen like instantaneously.
Yeah, and that was a partnership that started when you worked on Solana Spaces, right? Because I remember Phantom had the wallet onboarding lounge in the physical locations.
Yeah, they've been an awesome partner. I didn't come here to shill them. I mean, we love Phantom, the team, but yeah, I mean, from very early on when we started working on the Solana stores, we just definitely saw eye to eye on, getting out in front of people in disruptive ways and trying to teach them how to use all this amazing technology.
That's cool. By the way, should we take some questions from the audience later?
I don't know if we really have time, but we can.
Okay. Just randomly, because you guys might be curious about some stuff too. Okay, so Drip, last Saturday when we were talking, you talked about one of the key success unlocks for Drip was finding Degen Poet. But I'm sure there's also other artists and creators that you're excited about. I would love to hear more about how you discover them and how you help them find success through Drip.
So Drip is a product that really can change the lives of creators, not only through finding a fan base, but also through making money. One of my favorite examples is an artist named Designs, who Designs. Okay. And Designs lives in Alabama and lost his job during COVID as a chef and kind of wandered into crypto and had been like a long-time artist but had never done it professionally. And he has this incredible technique, which is he doesn't paint with a brush. He paints with kitchen knives and
so cool.
weapons like throwing axes and swords and other interesting things. And his art is a beautiful expression of what's going on in his life and in the inside, but in an extremely abstract way. And I think Drip really helped him find a community of fans. He's really prolific. I mean, he's making, I don't know, 3 to 5 pieces a day sometimes. And so Drip is kind of his place, his home, I think, these days, where he rewards people with his art. But importantly, he's also found people who are interested in paying for it and supporting him. And we have this patronage model called Say Thanks. And we're really helping him pay for his rent. And that's a beautiful thing we don't talk about that much in crypto. But there's a lot of creators that come to blockchains who don't have a platform in other places. They don't make money from what they create.
Yeah.
And I think we've been able to figure that out.
Yeah, discoverability is really an issue, right? Because in Web3, there's such a saturation of information. A lot of people come here on the promise of ownership over your money, over your content, but it's hard for them to be discovered. So how does Drip do that for the users?
Yeah.
And for the creators, I guess.
Yeah, so I think there's a trade that gets made on Drip that's very different from Web2 platforms, right? On Web2 platforms, like YouTube, for example, you have a really long tail of creators, which means that, I know Pedro at the foundation has done really good work on this. The top 1% of creators are maybe starting to earn money, and yet almost everyone else that comes there who maybe wants to will be stuck with 1, 5, 100, 1,000 subscribers. And you really have to be at a big scale to tip the economies in your favor there and start to unlock monetization opportunities. I think what we do is, and the trade is that, hey, let the crowd in on some of the early economics of your pieces, and in exchange, they'll support you even when you're very, very small. And what we've observed is that, I mean, this is where crypto has this superpower of like kind of community building, but letting the crowd into the fundamental economics of what's happening. It's not a trade that I think every creator is going to want to make. But when you think about the fact that the long tail is the vast majority of the world's creators, I think this solution might be appealing to like millions.
Yeah, so it does seem like in order to be a profitable creator in Web3, not only do you have to express through your art, but you also have to expose a part of yourself, right? We were talking about some of the really prolific artists being more influencers, right? They can hold a crowd. It's not just their artistry. Yeah, and
Yeah, so one of the ways that I think crypto creators are very different is that when you mint a piece on chain and you give it to someone or you sell it to someone, it's actually a direct-to-consumer relationship, right? It's not intermediated by a platform at all, right? I mean, if you're a YouTube creator, you can't get the email addresses of the people that subscribe to your channel. Like, everything you do has to run through them. And in crypto, it's like right from the artist to the fan. And so there's a lot more relationship building that happens. And I think because of that, there's also a lot more engagement that you kind of have to do with your audience. And so I think the modern artist that shows up on a blockchain today looks much more like a YouTuber than not in a lot of cases, because they're having to do behind-the-scenes stuff about their work, and they're having to like talk to their fans a lot. They're not kind of hiding behind a gallery or broker.
Yeah.
And that's a very exciting thing. I think direct-to-consumer as like a business model for the internet has been an amazing and transformative force. Now Solana allows you to kind of think about that at the level of a content creator or an artist. Yeah.
So if I am a starry-eyed artist trying to make something of myself in Web3, what are some advice that you give to the new creators coming into the scene?
Well, apply for Drip, d.rip/creators, if you're interested. But honestly, I think so much of it comes down to individuals and kind of replying to people, getting into their DMs, sharing what you're doing proactively. Like I mentioned, I think highlighting how you do your work is really important. I mean, one of the big challenges of the next age of humanity is going to be dealing with AI and kind of showcasing that, in fact, you did make this work, and here's how you did it. So yeah, I think behind the scenes, building relationships, signing up for Drip, all pretty good starts.
Cool. So Vibhu, as someone who's been following your career for the past over a year, I see you also tweeting a lot. So I'm guessing that's a conscious choice of you tweeting a lot. I guess my question is, do you consider yourself an influencer of sorts? And is being an influencer necessary to run a good Web3 company?
Yeah, I think there's some aspect of that. I mean, we didn't prepare this question, but like Web3 is overall a very vocal community, and if you're not proactive, either you're not going to be found, or you're going to let people, run away with a narrative that maybe is not the one that you really wanted.
Yeah.
So I personally, when I came to crypto from Web 2, I felt like I had to be much more present, maybe in ways that make me a little uncomfortable from my background, but I've enjoyed it, and I think it certainly, like, you said the word influencer, and I don't think of it that way, because the only thing I want to talk about is what I'm working on most of the time.
Yeah.
So I'm supposed to be influencing Drip, I guess. So it's not, but I'm not trying to talk about other people's stuff usually.
Sorry about throwing you the curveball question. I was just curious. So you've been building Drip for over a year now, and you've been iterating quite a bit. What are some interesting learnings that you've discovered in your process of engaging new users?
Yeah, I would say like the thing that we think about the most that isn't super obvious to people who follow us is how much incredible work we've done on Sybil resistance and sort of anti-fraud. We, from the very beginning, our value prop, like I said, is very strong. We're giving people free things that have value on secondary marketplaces, and for that reason, like, our growth potential is very large. Like, lots of people want free stuff. Lots of people like to make free money. So the question really does change to, well, how do you ensure you do it in a fair way, and that people aren't taking advantage of the system? And so for 9 months, really, we've engineered amazing tools that I don't think anyone else really in blockchain is doing to help us understand how people use our products, what is a a real human or not a real human. Of course, you can't have it both ways. You can't have the product be free and also free of abuse. It's just very hard. But I think we've done 80-90% of the work that kind of needs to be done there.
That's awesome. Building trust and detecting fraud is super important in trustless environment. Maybe final question from me is, there's a few more days of Breakpoint. What are you excited about for the next few days?
I'm only excited about one thing, which is the Drip House presented by Phantom. Tomorrow, doors open at 9:30 a.m.
Are you guys going?
Starts at 10 a.m. It's we approved like 1,200 people, and there's only 300 seats, so please come on time.
Please come on time.
It's going to be amazing. We have a lot of breakthroughs to share with people on the product side and new channels, new experiences, and then you're going to be able to hear from all these amazing artists that we all fan out about.
That's awesome. So no alpha today.
I can't.
It's all tomorrow. It'll be there. Okay, thank you so much, Vibhu, and thank you all for being here. Please check out Drip. What's the URL again?
You just go to d.rip.
d.rip, and we'll see you in Web3.
Thanks.